Hello, good morning to you all. This is Cliff Graves from Train Well Boxing. How are you all? So, on recent broadcasts, and specifically on the one yesterday, we've been talking predominantly about self-defense. What is true self-defense? Quite simply put, avoidance, or as I say it, sorry, scratching the end here. As I say it, the art of not be there. And I'm a black belt, 6th dan in that. If you ain't there at the venue where it's kicking off, how can you be ever running the risk of being embroiled into fisticuffs? Embroiled is a state of confusion around conflict. And if you're not there, you're sitting at home with your feet up, with your partner, your wife, your husband, your friends or whatever, having a beer or having a cup of tea or whatever, watching the TV. You're in the safety and comfort of your own home. It has to be the best policy not to be there. A different pub, a less violent pub, a less bullshit pub. Use your noggin. But we're talking true self-defense here. And what is that when it's going a bit pear-shaped? And you have to use physical force to stop and end the threat. It's all right to go, yeah, put your fence up, mate. I'm not looking for any trouble. I'm not looking for it. Bang! Or bang, as we said, the power slap. Bang! Because you can miss with the hook. And that shakes the FUCK out of the attacker. And he stops and he thinks, well, no more. I've come to my senses. I've had 10 pints of lager, but I've come to my senses. Think about it. But we here at Train Well Boxing are realists and we cover it all. In the real world, is that going to happen? Think of the situations where, sadly, and it's young males more than anything. You have seen females getting involved, but mainly young males. They will go to a pub and it just kicks off. For some stupid reason, it kicks off. The opposite sex, loud music, and a few of them, and that's almost a recipe for disaster. Hence avoidance, the art of not be there. But anyway, you're there, and it's kicked off, and it's escalated. Now you're just fighting so you can get away, get out of it, get gone. You've got to do what you've got to do to get to that situation, haven't you? You've got to do what you've got to do. And if it's kicking off and there's bodies flying around everywhere, people attempting to flank you, you've got to resort to your hard skills, haven't you? And this is why boxing is such a dynamic format of self-defense when needed, because it's quick. Somebody coming in this way, somebody coming in this way, bouncing around, moving around, matey, now mate, coming into you, and you're going again, now this way, now somebody's coming from behind you, and you're using footwork and you're using hand speed to almost just create a barrier. But somebody once said to me, when it's like that and it's not good, and you're just fighting literally for your life, you've got to think in the mentality in your head that it's the last 10 seconds of the final round of a boxing tournament. So if you're at an amateur, that's going to be the last 10. If you're fighting a world professional fight, it's going to be the 12th round, or could be the 10th round, or the 6th round, or whatever. The last part of the last final 10 seconds. So, you know, you could be heavyweight and you're slumbering around, you know, and seconds out, first round, bing, and you're sizing up. All this sort of business. Bam, 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 bam. Aren't you? It's gone on. It's been a hard fight. You've got a cut eye and all this. Your seconds egg you on. It's all on this 12th, this final round. You're even Stevens. You got to go out there and knock him out. Seconds out, round 12, you clamber up and off you're again. Bam, 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 bam. You're trying your best. Bam, 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 bam. And all of this. Somebody shouts from the crowd, or they go, you know, that clap, 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 clap. Last 10, go for it. And the other guy's going for it. There's no technique. You're just in the trenches now, fighting, ding, 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 and that's it. That last 10 seconds is how that street confrontation it's spilled out onto the streets, a busy pub, and it's kicking off. Pray God nobody's decided to pull out a blade or anything like that, sharp edge weapon. It's just a Western style punch up, which you're just trying to get out when the flatfoots come along and arrest you and all the rest of it. It's like, look, I did not want to get involved in any of this. It kicked off. I was just fighting for my life. Out the door you'll go. Next, and they'll go through everyone, and there might be charges made on some of them, the troublesome ones. But you can put your hand on your heart and you say, look, I wasn't there for trouble. The point I'm making in this broadcast is this. It's no sort of all this wing chung sort of blocking business and all that stuff. And what's that? Huh? All this finger jabbing stuff. It's you're going for it. Because you've got no choice. It's either fight for your life or get down, be put down on the floor and get booted by half a dozen idiots. So we at Trainwell Boxing believe at all times you need to be in a state of readiness. And that means to be fit. Without a doubt, that means to be fit and fighting fit. And we've talked about this a lot in other broadcasts at length. But you've got to have strength, stamina, skills. Those three categories: strength, stamina, skills. You've got to have the strength, so you got the power there. You're not like and there's no pain. Bang, bang, bang. Strength. So what's that giving? That's really strengthening pectorals, strengthening of the shoulder muscles, of the arm muscles. Stamina, so you can have it again and again and again and again and again and again. Again and again and again. Again and again and again. And not gas. And not gas. That's where your stamina comes in. And the skills bit is that you are using this to stop the threat against mating, to create a barrier, to knock him back and make him, either knock him down and knock him out, or put him out of the game. And if he's coming over, no. But then you've got to be quick to come round. So now you're fighting southpaw, aren't you? Because somebody's trying to flank you from your right hand side, and you're same again. Back to this side, back to the front. Quickness. And that's where your boxing skills come in. And that's where boxing is so invaluable. You can't do this. Hassan! 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 No, it's fast, rapid, aggressive. That will get you home safely, will get you out of that situation safely, because that's your prerogative. Getting away safely. What about if you've got mates? What about if one of them's getting a right good hiding? Where you're going to leave him? As he's getting kicked right into the head, you're going to just leave him? No, you've got to pull people off. And then they start on you, and this is how it is. In reality situations, you know, where you're in the wrong place at the wrong time and it has kicked off, and you've got to do something about it, because if you don't, you're going to get severely injured or even killed. This is what Train Well Boxing is about. Yes, we got our sports apparel. Look, that's our brand there. Train Well Boxing. Okay, that's how I earn my money, because of our growing brand. But we ultimately want to help people to have a fantastic quality of life. The fitness training for boxing does give you a state of readiness, but you will be able to use that in so many facets positively in life. If you're in business, you'll be confident as a businessman, you'll be fit. If you've got a partner, you know, without mentioning too much, you're going to be fit. They'll appreciate it better because you are fit. You'll have energy to play football with the kids. You'll just have an expounding of energy, which is the plus point of all that we're telling you, advising you. Road work, fantastic. Getting out into the fresh air and running, fantastic. It's free, don't have to spend any money. Gym, very necessary for keeping postural muscles all in balance, strength and everything else. And your skills training, well, you could go to combatives class or boxing class, Muay Thai, kickboxing class. I prefer boxing because fists are quicker. Fists are king on the streets. I'm not advocating street fighting. No. I'm saying in a situation which I've just described, which is a very real situation. Fists are king because they're quick. The timing of a kickbox, and I've done kickboxing, so I know what I'm talking about, is if you're going left, right, roundhouse kick, right. So the beat is 1, 2, roundhouse kick, 3. Consider this. 1, 2, miss with a roundhouse kick. You're on one leg, 3. Now consider it's kicking off like this, fast. And your opponent is doing this as well. Hopefully your punches are getting there to the target before his. 1, 2, whoops. His punch makes your 3, bang, on one foot. Now, I'm not saying Thai boxing, kickboxing is shit, because it isn't. I'm just saying the timing is different entirely. This is why fists are king. The combatives, they'll try all this on. You don't want somebody right up that close where you got the result to this, do you? You don't want that, do you? You want to be creating a barrier. A barrier again. Barrier back on to a 360 degrees self-defense where you're creating that barrier with your fists. Okay. This is why we plug so much the fitness aspect of self-defense. We just said about all the bonuses you'll get from it. And you park it because you're a peace-loving person. I'm a Christian man. I never, ever, ever, ever want to succumb to physical violence ever again. I might have a little spar and get a clump here and a clump there on the jaw. I particularly like it at 60 years old, I'll be honest, but I will. I'm here doing the boxing training. I'm kind of like expected to have a go doing a bit of sparring. But you park it. It's your insurance policy. It's against risk. You may never have to use that insurance policy to make a claim because you're using prevention rather than cure. And that is the best format of security in existence. Prevention rather than cure. I used to be a retail security officer at a very highly prestigious department store in Knightsbridge. I won't tell you which one it was, but it was in Knightsbridge, Kensington, Knightsbridge, that area. We did have our store detectives in plain clothes. I was a uniform security officer. The main areas that were like sort of vulnerable was the men's Barbary area, so the men's aftershaves and all that, and areas like, believe it or not, designer underwear. Oh yeah, they'd come in a great big flock, go into the gents' changing rooms and just change into the underwear and walk out. They would only do that when there was no presence, visual presence there. Soon as you got uniformed security guards there, the old walkie-talkies, the radios and all that, walking around, parading around, just keeping an eye. I'm telling you, you could spot them. I was able to spot them a mile off. Spot them a mile off. But it's a deterrent. As opposed to in some shops, it's, oh, no, it's too intimidating to the paying customer, the true paying customer. Well, I dig that. But sadly, in places like Kensington, Oxford Street, Knightsbridge, Mayfair, them types of places, it's gonna drag in the dregs, the shoplifters, as like a fly to, I was going to say something else, a fly to molasses, but you know what I mean. It will do. They will come in. And as us as security officers, we'd get very good at spotting who they were. Now, I dig it. They say, oh, get them and then arrest them. And they go, oh, who's watching in 1,000 eyes? Kind of thing. But I still maintain prevention is better than cure. So a visual deterrent. And it's the same with you. Prevention is better than cure. Avoidance, the art of not being there, is going to keep you safe all throughout your life. So if you never listen to another broadcast of mine ever again, listen to this. Avoidance will keep you safe. Thank you for listening. This is Cliff Gray's Train World Boxing. Have a good day. Ciao.